Hey guys, Veebat here with another V Plays, and we are into the Focke-Wulf 190A1. So we're finally in a Focke-Wulf, the true Focke-Wulf that we were expecting to get into when we started this Focke-Wulf grinding, I guess, playlist. I should probably make a playlist for this, but yes, this is the stock grind. Now, fortunately, we have said that I've ground the other tiers, the other lines up to about tier 8 across the board. So what we're looking at here is going to be what you get from that. Now, we don't have engines, we don't have gun upgrades, we don't have airframe upgrades, but we do have bombs. And you get 4 of these, what are they, the SD-100s? So what, like 250-pound bombs, essentially. I put these on here because I wanted to be able to augment my experience gain by getting some more capture points through bombing targets. It is a multi-role, and I really like bombs, so even though it might affect the performance, if I can, I will put them on. Now, what you saw me just fire there was the gun setup. I'm seeing a trend forming with the German line. I didn't notice it as much when I was doing the BF-109 line, but I did feel it a little bit when I was doing the ground attackers. The Germans seem to have a really tough grind going on. I don't know what it is, but they just have some of the toughest grind walls. Like, you have to upgrade the airframe just to get the guns, and the guns you have are relatively abysmal. Like, we saw what happened with the Heinkel 112. It just, with two 7.9 machine guns, then you upgrade the 220s. I mean, it makes the upgrade feel that much more substantial, and you definitely are glad to get it when you can. But until then, you're kind of useless. And I felt this a lot in World of Tanks. Like, if you weren't fully upgraded, you were usually running some pretty bad tank gameplay. Like, the thing just couldn't perform. It didn't have the turret to be able to block shots, and I feel like this is more reminiscent of that feeling, because I didn't feel like I was having that much of an issue with the Americans or the British when I was going through the upgrade. Ooh, that was no good, no good. But for this aircraft, what I'm referring to is that I've already unlocked the 20mm cannons that are supposed to be upgraded onto this airframe. However, you have to get the airframe upgrade in order to put the 20s onto the wings. So for now, I am running the stock gun configuration, which is, yes, 7.92 machine guns. However, you get 4 of them, so the thing definitely is a fire starter, but it's a little bit of a challenge. And the other thing that's a bit of a challenge is that when you go from the HE-112, the HE-112 actually breaks off into the 109 line and into the Focke-Wulf 190 line. Well, the Focke-Wulf 190 line is going to be your multi-rolls, and as a result, they're going to be fast, but their maneuverability just doesn't exist, especially without the airframe upgrade. You're looking at about a 13-second turn time. It's very similar to what you'd experience with a P-47 Thunderbolt. So just be ready for a massive change from being a relatively maneuverable fighter to being, well, a multi-role, which makes sense. I mean, that's where we are, that's what we're going to be doing. But you are going to have a bit of speed. Your altitude performance, of course, is going to drop as well as a multi-role aircraft, but it's decent enough. It's about 4,000 feet is where you kind of feel comfortable, and at tier 6 I'm okay with that. That's not a bad altitude performance to be able to do what I need to do. But I do find myself running away a lot in this game, but that's the nature of a multi-role. The problem is, without the engine upgrades, it is a bit of a hard slog. I know I'm going to die to these guys, but I figure if I'm going to die to them, I might as well die outside of that mining facility. Maybe I can get an ally to shoot at this target. It looks like he's putting some hits on him, so that's nice. It's always good to get some support from your bot allies. But can I maintain a turning fight against what I think is a Kai-43? Hard to tell with the screen. No, it's an XP-44. So theoretically, I should be able to outturn that guy. And, oh my goodness, I didn't remember. Apparently I did outturn him, at least enough. So, like I said, you're very much like the American P-47 Thunderbolt line, so we were evenly matched there, and that would explain why he was able to chase me down so easily. Alright, back into the middle, doing our best to try and defend this zone, and there's our 7.92s. Not a lot of damage, not a lot of damage at all. That was a ram. I don't know how I survived that considering I had such low health, but I am a multi-role, which means I have some pretty beefy armor on the aircraft, so it seems like it can handle those types of situations a little bit better. The other nice thing about having 4 7.92 machine guns is it is extremely cost effective to run universal ammo on the 7.92s, so even if you're running non-premium, it is not a bad idea to go ahead and run that ammo on this aircraft, even once you upgrade the 20s. Now I figured I might drop those bombs, maybe I could bomb trap the guy that was following me, but it looked like he wasn't following me that close. And yet again, saved by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Whoever that is, bot or otherwise, has probably been saving my butt more often than not. Now, I know I'm low health. I know I'm probably not going to survive all of these aircraft respawning, and there is Fuddles. Fuddles, you got me in your Spitfire. Good for you, man. But at this point, it is a ×3 weekend, and I just want to get a win off of this thing, so that way I can finally upgrade the airframe, possibly the engine, because like I said, the guns are just waiting for me behind this upgrade wall. Excuse me. Whew. And it's contributing to a mission I have to defend over mining facilities, so that's another bonus right there. We are firmly in the lead since we were able to get the mining facility so quickly, but they just captured that same plant. I think we could probably tick away and still win if we just held the airfield, but I'm probably going to get my bombs back relatively quickly here. I think the bombs come back, I think it's a minute and a half if I'm not mistaken. It's a relatively quick reload for a multi-roll. Well, I think it's just a relatively quick reload, and that is more of a rule for the multi-rolls. I think I remember that from going through the P-47 line as well, that they seem to come back at a pretty decent rate. And those 4 bombs are decent enough. I'm not going to be using it as a bombing platform. It's very much like I've described in some of my American multi-role videos, that traditionally a multi-role aircraft is going to be more of a, oh, there's a target, I should probably drop these bombs off of my airframe, and not really its primary role, while the P-47 had a very strong showing for utilizing the bombs and rockets just because it had so many of them, and then would shoot down air targets opportunistically. It's the inverse for this. This is going to be more of going after aircraft and, ooh, perfect opportunity to drop bombs and get the heck out of Dodge as I'm getting chased down. Don't want to die to this guy. But it was more opportunistic, right? Like, we will go after aircraft primarily with this thing more than we will try to just go after ground targets. And it definitely has the oomph once we upgrade the guns, and it seems to have really good acceleration and speed. I am just dragging this aircraft away, which is not as much fun. I don't like having to do that, but it drew that aircraft out of that battlefield for so long. It managed to eke out the win for us, and we didn't do fantastic, but we did well enough that the ×3 is going to reward us here with, what is that, 6,700 XP, which is more than enough to be able to unlock the airframe, which will then let me grab these 20mm cannons that will be going onto the wing, and I can also use the little bit leftover XP to be able to grab the second engine, which is going to help us with that speed issue that we were talking about. And I do contemplate taking the bombs off until I get the final engine upgrade, but I'll take what I can get for right now. It's definitely going to help out when it comes to being able to accelerate. And there we go, fully upgraded. Now guys, if you liked the video, let me know down in the comments. Like, favorite, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.